Have you ever thought, I love my quiet time, but is it bad for my health? Maybe you enjoy your morning coffee in peace, the bird feeder outside your window, the crossword that takes as long as it takes. You don't crave crowds or constant chatter, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then you hear that people who stay social tend to live longer, and you wonder, do I have to become a social butterfly to add years to my life? Here's the good news. Absolutely not. You don't need a packed calendar to protect your brain, your heart, and your mood. You just need a few simple social habits that are gentle, natural, and friendly to those of us who enjoy solitude. Today we're going to talk about 6 social habits that can add years, even if you prefer alone time. These are not about big parties or endless phone calls. They're about tiny, meaningful connections that keep your nervous system calm, your immune system ready, and your mind sharp. Studies have shown again and again that the quality and consistency of our connections matter more than quantity. That's especially important after 60, when routines are strong, energy is precious, and comfort matters. Let's ease into the first habit, because it's the simplest to start, micro moments of connection. Think of these as the little social vitamins in your day. They take seconds, they don't require commitment, and they work even with people you may never see again. A quick hello to your neighbor walking their dog, a warm thank you to the pharmacist, a smile and a genuine, "How's your day going?" to the cashier. Researchers call these weak ties, but their effect is anything but weak. These tiny interactions send a signal to your brain that you belong in the world around you. That lowers stress chemistry, eases inflammation, and lifts mood. It's the same reason a friendly wave from across the street can make you stand up a little taller. If you prefer alone time, this habit is a gift because there's no pressure. You're not starting a friendship. You're just nudging the door to connection open for a moment. Try this simple rule: 3 hellos a day. You can build it into your routine. On your morning walk, wave to one person. During an errand, ask one small, kind question. When you get the mail, compliment something you genuinely notice: a garden, a hat, a brave attempt at parallel parking. If speaking up feels awkward, prepare a sentence ahead of time. That color looks great on you. Your dog has a wonderful smile. Thank you for being here today. People light up when they're seen, and their moment of joy reflects back to you. Technology works here too. Send a one-sentence text to a grandchild or an old coworker. Saw a cardinal and thought of you. Leave a short voice message so they can hear your warmth. No need to call back, just wishing you a good day. If hearing is a challenge, wave from the porch, hold up a small sign that says good morning, or place a friendly note on a community board. If mobility is limited, micro moments can happen at the door with delivery drivers. Eye contact, a thank you by name, a smile that says, "I see you." These are small but powerful. They tell your body you are connected, you are safe, you matter. I know someone who started with just a wave. He didn't want to chat, didn't feel like it, honestly. But he decided that while he watered the plants, anyone who walked by would get a friendly wave. That was it. Within a few weeks, the wave turned into quick hellos from familiar faces. After a month, the mail carrier paused twice a week to exchange 10 seconds of weather talk. Nothing deep, but he told me, "I feel less invisible." His blood pressure improved, and while the water and walking helped, he swears those tiny moments made the walking something he looked forward to, which kept him moving. That's how micro moments work. They tug you gently toward the world without pulling you out of yourself. Here's a little trick that makes it even easier. Attach the micro moment to something you already do. If you walk, wave at the first person you see. If you make tea, send a quick, thinking of you, text while the water boils. If you read on the porch, look up every 10 minutes and see if anyone's passing by. A tiny action and you're done. After a week, it feels as natural as locking front door. Now, the second habit builds on that feeling of safety without asking you to spend much time. The 15-minute standing check-in. Think of this as your weekly seatbelt for the heart. Choose one person, just one, who feels easy to talk to. It could be a sibling, a friend, a neighbor, even a former colleague. Instead of trying to see each other sometime, create a quiet ritual that doesn't depend on energy, weather, or motivation. Every Tuesday at 10 or every Sunday afternoon, you both pick up the phone for 15 minutes. That's it. Not an hour. Not a life update. Just a small, predictable touch point you can count on. If inviting someone feels awkward, keep it simple. I'm trying to be better about staying connected without wearing myself out. Would you like to do a 15-minute call once a week? Same time, quick check-in, no pressure. Most people are relieved by the clear boundary. You can even give it a name, T and 10. 2 highs and a low. The weather and one good thing. If conversation stalls, prepare a few easy prompts ahead of time. What made you smile this week? Were you reading or watching? What's one thing you're looking forward to? Agree on topics that feel safe. Maybe you keep health talk to a minimum, or you share cooking wins and funny slips. The point is not to solve each other's problems. It's to share a steady rhythm that reminds your body, I am not alone here. Routine is the magic. When your brain knows connection is coming on Tuesday, it relaxes. That eases a constant scanning for danger that loneliness can trigger, the same kind of low-level stress that raises blood pressure and disturbs sleep. A standing check-in becomes a hand on your shoulder, even on days you don't speak. And if you're caring for a spouse or dealing with your own health challenges, that 15 minutes can be a lifeline. It's a pocket of air in a busy or heavy week. There's no one right way to do it. Some people prefer video. Others enjoy walking with the phone in their pocket. So the conversation flows like a stroll together. If hearing is tricky, try captions on a tablet or keep it to speakerphone with the volume turned up and background noise down. If talking feels like too much some days, companionable silence counts. You can both make tea, sit by the window, and share what you're seeing out there. A cloud looks like a ship. A kid on a scooter just zoomed by. You'd be amazed how comforting it is to simply be with someone, even quietly. If you like to add a little spark, choose a theme for each month. In March, swap 2 favorite songs a week. In April, cook the same simple recipe and compare notes. In May, take turns telling one story from childhood you've never shared before. These little rituals turn a check-in into something you anticipate. And anticipation is health-giving all by itself. These first 2 habits are gentle on your energy and strong for your body. Micro moment of connection sprinkle your day with tiny reminders that you belong, and a standing check-in wraps your week in a calm, reliable rhythm. Alone time stays sacred, but loneliness doesn't get the last word. When those are in place, it becomes easier to look at the everyday things you already enjoy and see how they can quietly bring more life into your life, without adding pressure or noise. When you look at the things you already enjoy, you start to notice how easy it is to weave a little connection through them, without changing who you are. One of the gentlest ways to do that is to become a regular somewhere, not the life of the party, not the person who has to chat with everyone, just a familiar face in a familiar place. There's a special kind of comfort that comes from being known by sight. It's quiet belonging and it counts. Think of the park bench that gets the morning sun, the library table near the big window, the coffee shop corner during the calm hour after the morning rush, the lap lane at the pool when it's empty, the pew you prefer on a weekday afternoon. When you show up at the same time each week, people begin to recognize you. The staff nod, the other regulars give you that small smile of recognition, and the rhythm of the place starts to include you. You don't have to make small talk, though you might. You can simply read, knit, sip your tea, or watch the birds. This is social co-presence. Sharing space with others while doing your own thing. Your nervous system reads that as safety. You feel held by a community without the energy drain of keeping up a conversation. To make it effortless, tie it to something that's already happening. If you walk in the mornings, and you walk at the same bench 3 days a week. If you like a midday coffee, choose one shop in the same hour, or sit by the same window at home and wave to the same dog walkers as they pass. If hearing is tricky, a quiet place like a garden, museum, or library is perfect. If mobility is an issue, be a regular on your porch or in your lobby. Put a small pot of herbs by your chair so neighbors know you're friendly to a quick hello and a sprig of mint. Even online, you can be a regular. Join a weekly live stream where you enjoy the host. Keep your camera off if you like, and type a simple greeting in the chat. Over a few weeks, you'll notice familiar names popping up, and that too creates a sense of, my people are here. A small signal helps. Wear the same bright scarf, carry the same red tote, or bring your favorite mug. People remember patterns. A friend of mine visited the same small cafe every Thursday after her physical therapy. She always ordered peppermint tea and wore a blue cardigan. The barista began to start her tea when she walked in. The gentleman who read the paper in the corner nodded each week. One day, she missed her Thursday because of an appointment. The next week, the barista said, "We missed you. Everything okay?" It wasn't a big thing, but it meant the world. There's a layer of protection in being known, even lightly. If you ever need help, you're not invisible. If you worry about getting stuck in a long conversation, decide ahead of time how you'll exit kindly. I've got 10 minutes to enjoy the sunshine, then I'm off. Set the boundary before the chat begins. Bring a book or a crossword and gesture to it with a smile if you need to close the moment. Most people take the cue easily when it's delivered with warmth. If you feel shy, start with micro gestures only. A nod, a wave, a silent smile to the same faces. They add up. There's another reason being a regular adds years. It gently encourages movement and routine. You're more likely to leave the house if you know your spot is waiting for you. You might take a few extra steps to reach it. You might stand up straighter, breathe deeper, or feel motivated to put on your favorite sweater. All of that is good medicine disguised as habit. And the best part is that you remain you, quiet, thoughtful, and comfortably on your own terms, while the world becomes friendlier around you. Now let's talk about giving, but in a way that preserves your energy. There's a deep, well-established link between purpose and longevity. People who feel useful, who see their efforts ripple outward, tend to live longer and feel better. That doesn't mean signing up for a full day of volunteering. If that drains you, it can be small, steady, and done from home. I call these purpose projects, and they work because they connect you to others without requiring a crowd. If you like to knit or crochet, make a few baby hats or lap blankets and drop them off at a hospital or care home. If you enjoy cooking, double one simple recipe a couple times a month and set aside a small container for a neighbor who could use a lift. If you grow herbs on your windowsill, clip a tiny bouquet and leave it by the mailboxes with a note that says, "Please take one." If you love words, write short postcards through a program that reaches isolated seniors or service members. If you have a lifetime of experience, Try a 20-minute phone call once a week with a young person learning a skill you know well. Carpentry tips, bookkeeping basics, leadership do's and don'ts. You can even record voice notes with stories from your life and share them with family. Imagine your grandchild hearing your voice explain how you made the best pancakes or the day you got your first job. That's connection that keeps giving. The key is to make the project fit inside your life, not the other way around. Choose a scale, so small it feels almost silly. 3 hats a month, 2 extra muffins every other Sunday, 4 postcards with your afternoon tea, a 10-minute story recorded on your phone when the mood strikes. Put a basket by the door for finished items and a calendar note for drop-off day. When you attach a purpose to something you already enjoy, you get a double benefit. You feel the pleasure of the hobby and the meaning of sharing it. Purpose projects also create gentle, ongoing ties. The receptionist who recognizes your name when you drop off the hats. The neighbor who smiles when they find a surprise container on their step. The librarian who points you toward the donation box. These are natural stitch points that weave you into the fabric of your community without any pressure to mingle. Over time, you'll notice small waves of kindness flowing back to you. Someone holds the door a little longer. Someone checks in when they haven't seen you in a while. That's health in action. If getting out is hard, choose projects with pickup or mail-in options. Many groups will send you materials and prepaid envelopes. If money is tight, get what costs nothing, attention and encouragement. A 2-sentence note to someone going through a tough time. A thank you card to the local clinic. A voicemail to a distant cousin who just had surgery, letting them know you're thinking of them. These gestures are tiny in effort and huge in effect. They remind your brain you have a role, your heart you have a circle, and your days that they matter. There's a beautiful side effect here. When you reach out with a purpose, conversations feel easier because they have a container. You're talking about the soup you made or the blanket you finished, not trying to make small talk out of thin air. It gives you something to share that doesn't require you to share everything. And when someone says thank you, let yourself receive it. Receiving is also a social skill, and it nourishes the giver as much as the gift. All of this works without asking you to change your temperament. You can keep your quiet mornings, your favorite chair, your gentle pace. Being a regular gives you soft edges where life can meet you, and purpose projects give your kindness a path. As these habits take root, you may notice your days feeling fuller but not busier, your sleep a touch deeper, your mood a little steadier. That's your body responding to the simple message you're sending it. I am part of something, and I'm needed. There's a way to deepen this even more, to make your connections feel naturally richer without adding time to your calendar. It's a small shift that turns ordinary moments into meaningful ones and makes the people around you light up. It starts with what I call the golden minute. When you're with someone, even for a very short time, offer 60 seconds of undivided attention. Not intense, not interrogating, just fully there. Let your eyes soften, put your phone down, and notice one specific, ordinary thing about them you genuinely appreciate. That scarf brings out your smile. I love how you always know the best shortcut. Your laugh just made my day. Then ask one small, caring question and wait for the answer. What's been enjoyable this week? Is better than how are you, because it gives the brain a brighter lane to drive in. Finally, reflect back a word they used. If they say, I'm tinkering with the garden, you can reply, tinkering sounds fun. What's growing? That simple loop, attention, appreciation, a gentle question, and a small reflection turns a routine exchange into a meaningful moment. It doesn't take energy, it gives it. If hearing makes conversation tricky, try a different path. Offer your appreciation first, and use a short, Clear question they can answer with a few words. If you're on the phone or video, say, "Tell me one good thing and I'll tell you mine," and take turns. If memory is a challenge, anchor your question in the present. What do you see out the window right now? Or, what did you have with your coffee this morning? Specific beats broad. And if you ever feel tongue-tied, keep a tiny card in your wallet with 2 or 3 questions you like. No one minds if you glance. The heart behind it is what they'll remember. You can even use the golden minute with yourself before you reach out to anyone else. Pause, breathe, and notice one thing you appreciate about your own day. I watered the plants. I stretch my shoulders. When your body feels appreciated, it softens. A softened body welcomes connection without bracing for it. That's when your voice sounds warmer, your smile lands truer, and your presence becomes a gift. People can feel it, and they respond in kind. That shared ease is medicine for the nervous system. I've watched this change family dynamics, too. A grandmother told me her weekly check-in with her grandson felt flat. 2 people asking, "How's school?" "Fine." She tried the golden minute. I love how curious you are. What's something that surprised you this week? He brightened, told her about a science experiment that fizzled and then worked, and they laughed. Now they start every call with one appreciation and one surprise. Same 15 minutes. Twice the closeness, 0 extra effort. That's the beauty of depth. It doesn't require more time, only better focus. There's one more habit that fits beautifully with quieter life, and it might be the friendliest of them all for someone who values solitude. Parallel companionship. This is spending time with another person while you each do your own tasks, talking only as much as you want. Think of it as side-by-side living. You can knit while a neighbor does a jigsaw puzzle. You can sort photos while your sister pays bills on speakerphone. You can walk in comfortable silence, listening to the birds. You're together, but no one has to carry the conversation. Parallel companionship works because it gives you the benefits of connection. Steadier mood, calmer heart rate, a gentle lift in energy without the performance pressure that can make social time tiring. There's no need for clever stories or perfect timing. You both bring what you were already going to do, and you keep each other company while you do it. If you've ever noticed that chores feel lighter when someone is nearby, that's the effect. Your nervous system reads the presence as safety and the task is shared. Less strain, more ease. To try this, invite someone with a clear, friendly frame. I'm folding laundry and listening to music for 20 minutes. Want to sit with me and read your book? Or, I'm doing my stretches at 4. Want to do yours alongside me? No talking required. Most people are relieved by the permission to be quiet together. If you prefer video, set the camera so you're both in view, but focus on your tasks. You can give a little wave now and then, or share a small comment when something funny happens. At the end, exchange one good thing you noticed. Your focus rubbed off on me. Those stretches look helpful. It's simple and surprisingly nourishing. If leaving the house feels hard, start at home. A neighbor can bring their crossword to your porch. A friend can come by with their mending while you deadhead the flowers. If transportation is easy, look for spaces that naturally support this kind of being together. The library's quiet room, a community center craft table, a museum bench, a sunny corner of a garden. Some people even create a shared hour with a loved one in another state. They put the phone on the table, do their tasks, and let the ambient sounds keep them connected. Birds outside your window, kettle on theirs, a shared sense that you're living the afternoon side by side. Animals can be wonderful partners in parallel companionship. 2, if you have a pet, You already know the steadying rhythm of a dog at your feet or a cat on the armrest. If you don't, you can borrow the benefit. Sit on a bench near the dog park and let the wagging tails lift your mood while you sip your tea. Often take a neighbor's dog for a 10-minute stroll once a week. Visit a cat cafe during a quiet hour or volunteer for a short shift at a shelter doing simple tasks like folding towels. There's a gentle, wordless connection in caring for animals that spills over into how open and grounded you feel with people. This habit also makes room for different energy levels. On a day when conversation feels like climbing a hill, you still have a way to connect without strain. On a day when you're more talkative, the setting invites small exchanges that bloom naturally. And if you ever feel the need to stop early, you simply stand, thank them for the company, and promise yourself another shared hour soon. No awkward endings, no guilt. When these 6 habits start to weave through your week, the changes can feel quiet first. You might notice you sleep a little better after a day with a friendly wave or 2. You might catch yourself humming after a brief check-in. You might feel steadier walking into the coffee shop where your face is familiar. Your hobby starts to carry a new kind of meaning when a scarf goes to someone who needs warmth. A 60-second golden minute softens a conversation you used to dread, and a simple shared hour turns a chore into something almost pleasant. None of this demands that you become more social than you want to be. It just asks you to be gently connected in a way that fits who you are. If one habit feels right today, start there and make it small enough to succeed. One wave on your walk. One text that says, "Thinking of you." No need to reply. One Thursday morning at the same sunny spot. One muffin set aside for a neighbor. One golden minute with the next person you see. One shared hour where you do your thing and let someone do theirs nearby. Small is not a compromise. Small is how big changes begin. I'd love to hear what speaks to you. What's one tiny connection you'll try this week? Or one sentence you'll use for your golden minute? Share in the comments. I read them, and your idea might be exactly what someone else needs. If this was helpful, give the video a like so more people can find it, and subscribe for more simple, age-friendly ideas that protect your health without stealing your peace. You've earned your quiet. You've also earned a life that feels supported, seen, and warmly connected. Here's to years added not by noise or hustle, but by gentle, meaningful moments that let you stay yourself and feel more alive doing it.